Hey everyone, it's Nina. Today's video is a rest day video. So if you've been feeling kind of burnout or a little sore from your workouts, or you're just needing a little bit of a break, this is the perfect video for you to come back to on those days that you want to stretch the body and open it up a little bit, but also give your body some rest. So we're going to be doing some gentle stretching and also some qigong just to kind of get that energy moving as we begin to stretch and open up the body a little bit more. So we're actually going to get started in a standing position. And you don't need a mat or blocks or props or anything for this class. So coming to a standing position, your feet are going to be about hip distance apart. You're going to take a slight bend in your knees. You're going to bring your arms by your sides with your palms facing forward. And you're going to take a nice deep bend in your knees. And on your next inhale, you're going to lift your arms out and around and all the way up as you straighten your legs. On an exhale, you're going to bring the palms facing down and bend your knees, coming into just a slight squat. And then on the next inhale, you're going to bring the arms wide out again, bringing them all the way up as you straighten your legs. And exhale, bring the palms down. So we're just going to do about 10 total. So feel free to close your eyes. Exhaling, bending the knees. Inhaling, straightening the legs as you lift your arms up. And exhale down. Just imagine this ball of energy that you're just circling up and around and then pushing that energy down. So beginning to move this energy within the body, moving the chi within the body. It's a very subtle exercise, but incredibly profound, helping to clear the mind and clear the body. So finishing up wherever you are at, coming into your final big circle, and exhale, bringing the hands down. And you can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. We're just going to begin to swing the arms from side to side. So you're bringing the right arm in front and the left arm in back. And just kind of allowing your arms to kind of flop from side to side. So your hands can be hitting the sides of your hips, just gently opening up the spine here. The idea here is to not think, just allow your body to move. We remove our mind from the equation. That's where the magic happens. So it may seem like we're not really doing much, but we're beginning to open up these centers within the body where we might be holding some energetic blocks. And slowly begin to come back to center. And bringing your arms by your sides. You can bring your feet together. You're going to inhale, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky, taking a little bit of a back bend here. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky, take a back bend here. And exhale, drop your right hand down to the side and your left arm up towards the sky, taking a side bend here, pushing the left hip out and bringing that left arm up and over to your right. And switch sides, bring that left hand down and reach the right arm up and over to your left, pushing that right hip out to the side. Breathing deeply into that right side and feeling those ribs expand. Coming back to center, reach your left hand up to meet your right And reach the arms up and back for a tiny back bend. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. You're gonna take your feet about hip distance apart. Take a nice deep bend in your knees and fold forward. Bring your hands down to the ground and relax your head and your neck. So if your hamstrings are feeling as tight as mine right now, you might need to just really keep that deep bend. Maybe you can start to straighten one of the legs, pushing the hips out from side to side. Just feeling the body begin to wake up. Good. And you're going to step your feet back into a plank position and come down to your knees, keeping that nice straight body, keeping your chin nice and lifted. And then on an exhale, you're going to drop the chest all the way down to the ground. And then you're going to take your hands to the outsides of the mat if you're on one, or if you're not, you can just bring your hands a little bit wider, coming up onto your fingertips, and inhale, lift the chin and the chest up, and exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, lift up, and exhale, lower down. Bring the hands next to your chest, push yourself back up into that modified plank. Take your knees a little bit wider with your feet together and drop your hips onto your heels, coming into child's pose. Taking a few breaths here. And walk the hands over to the left, stacking that right hand on top of the left hand, feeling that deep stretch on the right side of the body. Walk your hands back to center, and then over to the right. Bringing that left hand to stack on top of the right. And breathing deeply into that left side body. Walk your hands back to center. Come up onto your hands and your knees. Bringing your knees about hip distance apart. You're just going to rock from side to side, shrugging the shoulders down. And then rocking forward and back, waking up the wrists. And you can feel free to shrug the shoulders, maybe take some circles with the shoulders, starting to wake up that shoulder joint. And then bring your knees together. You're going to tuck your toes under and push your hips back onto your heels. So we're just going to do a quick stretch here of the toes and maybe even into the calves. You might feel this stretch. So take a moment here, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky. Take a little back bend here. And exhale, drop your left hand down, reach your right arm up and over. Really getting these side stretches in. And switch sides, drop the right hand down, lift the left arm up and over. And bring that right arm all the way back up, take a little back bend here. And bring the hands down, untuck your toes, just kind of tap them out a little bit here. Bring your knees about hip distance apart. You're actually going to tuck those toes back under. We're going to go into a down dog. So push the hips up and back. Keep that nice bend in your knees. Really think about pushing your hips up and back. So the goal here is to really lengthen the spine and push the hips up and back as far as you can. And once you feel like you're in this really nice position, you're going to start to lower the heels down as much as you can. It's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. The goal here is to find that length in the back, to feel that deep stretch in the entire back of the body, and then into your calves and your hamstrings, so you can maybe pedal your feet out a little bit. Push your hips from side to side. And just taking 2 more deep breaths here. Really just allowing the body to slowly open up. Again, this is a very gentle flow. You don't need to force anything. The body is recovering, so we just want to be really kind to the body today. And start to walk the feet all the way up to your hands. You're going to take an inhale, and you're going to bring your hands just above your knees with a flat back here. Your knees can be slightly bent, or you can straighten your legs if you want to feel that deep stretch in the backs of your legs. And then exhale, fold forward, taking a deep bend. And you're going to take your feet farther apart, so farther than hip distance with your toes slightly turned out. You're going to drop your hips down. So if you have a pillow or something you'd like to sit on here for this low squat, you can do that as well. Just opening up the hips here. Bring your hands to your heart center with your elbows to the insides of your knees. So just, you don't necessarily need to move or anything here. If that feels good for you to kind of rock through your hips from side to side, you can do that. But right now we're just focusing on that external rotation and gently opening up the hips. And release your hands down, lift your hips up, bring your feet back together, and you're gonna inhale with a flat back, your arms all the way up towards the sky, take a back bend here, and exhale, hands to heart center. So you're gonna shift your weight onto the left foot, and you're gonna take a really big step back with the right foot. So coming into this high lunge, and then dropping that right knee down. So you're creating this 90-90 position with your legs, with your left knee in line with your left ankle. Lift your arms all the way up towards the sky. And start to press the hips forward, gently squeezing that right glute. And maybe taking a little bit of a back bend here, feeling a deeper stretch in that hip flexor. Bring the hips back, drop your hands down to the inside of your left foot, walk that left foot out to the side. You can maybe bring that left foot forward a little bit more so the stance is wider. And you're just going to push the hips forward, and if you'd like, you can roll into the outer edge of that left foot, opening up that left hip. And if you'd like to go deeper, you can bring the hands down. Again, we're not forcing anything here. We're just allowing the stretch to happen. So if this is too intense for you, just slowly ease out of this. Anytime we try to force the body into a stretch, the body is going to automatically contract, and we want the opposite of that. We want it to relax and open up. So when we go into these postures with ease and without any agenda of trying to force the body to open up, and we just go in with the mindset of we're going to allow our body organically begin to open up through these gentle stretches, then the body can relax and know that it's safe. It doesn't need to contract or try to protect itself from being overstretched. Bring the knee up and walk the foot back to the center of the mat. You're going to tuck your back toes under and lift that back knee up off the mat. And you're going to take a big step forward, bring the right foot to meet the left, and we're actually going to switch sides. So we're going to take a big step back with that left foot, dropping that left knee down, lifting the chest up. So again, coming into this 90-90 position, bringing your arms up towards the sky, slightly squeezing that left glute, and then begin to push your hips forward, feeling that stretch in your hip flexor. Maybe taking a little bit of a back bend here if that feels good for you. And coming back to center, dropping the hands to the inside of that right foot, maybe bringing that right foot out a little bit more and bringing it forward to bring that stance a little bit farther apart. So you can hang out here if the stretch feels nice for you. If you want to roll into the outer edge of your right foot, you can do that as well. Again, we're not forcing anything, we're just allowing that gentle stretch to happen. So if you feel like you can go deeper and you can go onto your forearms, go ahead and do that now. And just take one final deep breath here. And gently begin to push yourself back up, bringing that foot back to the center of your mat, tucking your back toes under and lifting that left knee up off of the mat. You're gonna step that left foot forward, and you're gonna take, on your next inhale, you're just going to bring your hands just above your knees with a flat back, maybe straightening the legs here, feeling that stretch. And then exhale, fold forward. You're going to drop your hips all the way down. So you're coming into this little squat and you're just going to drop your hips down. So coming onto your butts here. Turn to face you guys. Sun's a little bright, so I'm going to do my best to look at you guys in the camera. So we're going to come into a butterfly position. So there's no set way of doing butterfly. I'll give you guys a couple of options. So whatever feels best for your body, you can go into that. So you can bring the heels in nice and close if that feels really good for you. Maybe you bring them out farther away from the body, and that's a little bit less of an intense stretch. That's a little bit less intense for me on my hips. So I like to bring them farther away from my body, but you can also have like this nice in between. And if this is painful or puts any pressure on your knees, you can put blocks or pillows under your knees as well. So wherever you decide to land, just really sit up nice and straight. You're going to take your hands and cup them underneath your feet and begin to pull the chest forward and push the hips forward. So that might increase the intensity of the stretch a little bit more. So again, just do what you can here. From here, you're going to start to pull the chest forward and just go as far as you can. And when you've gone as far as you can with that flat back, you can begin to round through the upper back and bring the head and the neck down. So it's really key here to allow the head and the neck to relax, because we're getting this nice deep stretch from the head all the way down to the lower back. So taking a nice big breath in here and exhale, allowing yourself to relax and surrender a little bit deeper into this pose. Slowly begin to come all the way back up. And you can bring your knees together and then bring your feet a little bit farther than hip distance apart. Bring your hands behind your back with your fingertips facing your heels. We're just going to rock the knees from side to side. and then come back to center. I'm just gonna come into a cross-legged position. We've been working on opening up the legs a little bit, so we're gonna hit that upper body a little bit as well. So in a seated position, maybe you sit on a block or a pillow if you need a little bit of a boost here. Just gonna bring the arms out to the sides in this T position, and you're gonna cross that right arm out in front, and you're gonna take that left arm underneath and pull that right arm towards the body. So you can bring it onto that right forearm, feeling that stretch in that outer shoulder. And then switch sides, bring the arms out, and then bring that left arm in front. Right hand comes to the front of that left forearm, pulling the arm in close until you feel that stretch in that outer shoulder here. And then bring both of your arms all the way up towards the sky. You're gonna drop, or bring the palms to face forward, and then you're gonna bringing the hands to face behind you. You're gonna drop that right hand to the lower part of your neck. You're gonna bring that left hand to the right elbow, and you're gonna start to push that elbow down. So feeling that stretch in the tricep here, the outer right arm. Just 2 deep breaths here. And then switching sides, bring your arms up, palms facing behind you, and then bring the palm, that left palm, to the lower back, or the lower part of your neck. Right hand reaches for that left elbow, gently pushing it down. Finding those 2 deep breaths here. Bring both of the arms up towards the sky, drop the right hand down. You're just gonna take big circles back with that left arm. And then bringing that circle forward, just switching directions. Drop the right hand down, switch sides. Nice big circles back with that left arm. Really just starting to increase the synovial fluid in your shoulder joints to lubricate and open up. Reverse directions, bringing that left arm forward. Good. And now for the best stretches, in my opinion, for the neck. We don't really think about it too much, but we really hold so much tension in our neck. So we're gonna drop that left hand down to the side, bringing that right hand to the left side of your head, and dropping your head over to your right shoulder. You can gently move the head forward and back. Again, nothing to force here, just feeling that gentle stretch. Dropping the chin down to the chest, bring both hands behind your head, and just allowing gravity to take hold here, feeling that deep stretch in the back of the head and the neck. Maybe rocking the head from side to side. And then dropping the right hand down to your mat or the floor next to you, and rolling your head over to your left shoulder, taking that left hand to the right side of your head and feeling that stretch on the right side of your neck and your shoulder. Maybe rolling the chin forward and back. Really subtle, gentle movements here. And release that left hand down, bring your head back to center. We're gonna get in a nice stretch of the wrists and the front of the neck, something we don't really think about too much, but this is actually one of my favorite stretches. So you're gonna straighten your legs out in front of you, start to point your toes forward, bring your hands back behind you with your fingertips facing your heels. You're gonna start to lift your hips up, pushing yourself up as high as you can and allowing your head and your neck to roll back. And pushing the hips up a little bit more. You'll feel this in your shoulders as well. Just 3 breaths here. Pushing the hips up higher, just allowing the head to continue to drop back. And then dropping the hips down. Good. And then coming into a forward fold. So this is one of my least favorite stretches in the entire world. So I like to ease into this because the hamstrings can feel really tight, especially if you're doing this in the morning or you've been sitting at a desk all day. So take a nice big deep bend in your knees. You can bring the heels in a little bit closer. So here, you're gonna bring your stomach as close to the tops of your thighs as you can, and when you do that, you might feel that nice stretch in that lower back. So by bending your knees, you're actually releasing any tension here in the lower back to open up the lower back and the hamstrings. So bending the knees is actually incredibly helpful, so you're getting the correct stretch in your hamstrings and not just the lower back. So you're gonna reach your hands for your feet, and you might feel a really nice stretch here. If you wanna relax your head and your neck down, you can hang out here. If you want, you can start to scooch the heels forward, trying to keep your belly glued to the tops of your thighs. And continuing to scoot those heels forward if that feels good. Feeling the stretch in the back of the hamstrings. The longer you hold this stretch, maybe you begin to continue to walk those heels out. Again, if you're feeling any tension in your face or your shoulders or your hips or your belly, or you're feeling your breath is kind of shortened, come back to that place of ease. This is not meant to be force. This is a gentle stretch. And over time, your body will begin to open up. The less you try to force, and the more you just allow the body to be and to just naturally open up through this gentle stretch. Slowly begin to come all the way back up. You're gonna cross your right ankle over your left ankle. So this is kind of another version of a forward fold, but you need to get into that IT band and that outer hip and the glutes. So don't need to bend the knees here or anything. This is just gonna be a couple breaths. So begin to fold forward over your legs, just reaching your arms forward, relaxing your head and your neck. And slowly come up, switch, bring that right heel down and cross the left heel over, and begin to fold over your legs, extending your arms forward, relaxing your head and your neck. And slowly coming up, you're gonna bend your knees, cross your ankles, roll forward onto your hands and your knees, and we're just gonna end with a child's pose. So bring your knees apart and your feet together, drop your hips onto your heels. If you'd actually like to get a deeper stretch in your lower back and not just your hips, you can actually bring your knees together and bring your hips onto your heels. So take your variation. You can extend your arms forward as you place your forehead on the mat, or if you'd like to bring your arms by your sides, if that feels good. We're gonna be here for about 5 breaths or so. And begin to lift the body back up and come into a seated position. And that is it for today. I tried to hit all different parts of the body to open up, whether you're feeling a little sore from arm or upper body day, and also from leg day as well. So also, if you're just feeling like you needed a day to just chill out, but you wanted to stretch the body a little bit, this has been a really great class for you to do that as well. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video and this flow. If you are really loving these videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I try to post as much as possible on this channel as I can while I am traveling. I'm currently in Merida and loving it here. I'm on a rooftop and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you guys enjoyed the view of the city a little bit. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you on the mat in the next video.